Hello there, this is Daryl,
And this is John.
and this is the Town of Orphaned Characters, a weekly podcast where we roll up characters who live in our town of orphaned characters. So today, let's see what we roll up. You know, John, I feel like Pinky in the Brain here. Like, what are we gonna do tonight, Pinky? What are we gonna do tonight, Brain? The same thing we do every night. Roll up a character.
Roll up a character. That's right. Um, they may or may not be trying to take over the world.
They could be.
It really it depends on the dice results.
Yeah, it really does, and it depends on like how you, as a player, would like to adopt these characters and take them. They could be evil, they could be good. We don't know yet. We aren't in the driver's seat of that. Let's
Right.
for our listeners who might have forgotten, we've already done two characters so far, both of which have been goblinoids. Strangely enough, Sophia, the goblin druid, and Red Sorosa, our old man Red, the hobgoblin.
Yeah, Old Man Red. That was last week's addition
Yeah.
to the I want to say like our motley crew, but it's not a crew yet.
No.
It wouldn't be a crew. It's a town. It's a town.
Yeah. At some point we're gonna have to roll up like a whole family of adventurers and just be like having an adventuring family inside the town.
Oh, that's a great idea. I love that. We should definitely have like that could be, I don't know, like a round robin or like a blitz episode where we just do like 5 characters in a row, or maybe we have to roll how many
Mhm.
characters it is. We're getting
Uh,
off track. We're getting off track. That's a great idea, but
yeah.
all right. So before we get into the new character that we want to add, we should check in with
Yeah.
our current characters, right?
Yeah. And I think they've been doing pretty well. I think that they've probably been getting along decently well, and probably Red has been doing a lot of jewel crafting and like outward PR. As the paladin of redemption that he is, who's trying to not only redeem others who are evil, but also like kind of himself and
Mm-hmm.
his race and the goblins
Mm-hmm.
with the humans. I don't know about Sophia. I don't know if she's how she's doing.
Yeah, we never decided her alignment, so she could literally be up to anything at this point.
That is true.
But I do think that for sure they're getting along now.
Yeah.
Maybe after like an apprehensive introduction where he was a crotchety old man,
Mm-hmm.
and Sophia was Sophia talking to plants. But I imagine something happens like he ends up giving her a pretty necklace, and it's a touching. I don't know. It's a touching moment where she realizes he's not a total jerk, or I don't know.
Yeah. Or like he sees like she's tending her grove. She has a little grove area in the town. It's like the city. It's gonna be like the city park.
Oh, I like that. I like that idea. Yeah.
Like she has this nice little grove area, and she takes care of that. And there's like I guess maybe a river
Hmm.
or like a stream that goes by, and she's like stacking up shells on the sides and stuff like that. And Red sees this, and he eventually goes and like makes her a necklace out of like the stones out of the creek outside of the grove, and then like hangs it up on one of the tree branches for her to find later on. He doesn't tell her that he's giving it to her. He doesn't say it's from him. He just kind of puts it there for her, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, yeah. He expresses his feelings without without being present.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So,
cool.
and I imagine that her house is more of like a thatched roof, herbalist style.
Oh, definitely. Very earthen,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very earthy. Like almost I'm almost imagining a hobbit hole, but probably not as sophisticated as a hobbit hole.
No. I'm thinking more like,
And probably not actually built into the side of a hill, maybe just a cottage,
yeah.
you know.
I'm thinking more like the cottage. Like when you think of like a witch's cottage or like a herbalist cottage, cabbage, cottage, cabbage. My cabbages.
There probably are cabbages. She probably is growing
Yeah,
some
yeah,
cabbages.
probably. Hopefully, she's not trying to sell those. We will have to make a cabbage seller at some point. I think that would be kind of fun.
Crossover characters.
But I think at some point we'll have to do famous crossover characters, and it's just gonna be like the cabbage guy from Avatar.
Characters that deserve more screen time. The cabbage guy from Avatar and
Mhm.
the turtle from Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he deserves a lot more.
He does.
We can make a total character. Anyway, going back, her cottage is sticks and like wooden style, probably like a logish kind of cabin,
Hmm.
typical Eastern European style, um, old world. And then I feel like Red probably has this nice like clay cabin or clay house, like that's nice and built up and like long.
Probably very orderly too, right? Just due to
Hmm.
his habits as a
Yeah,
former military
yeah.
man, gone a jeweler.
Yeah, and I think probably at the moment he has a like the reason why it's so long is because like the front half that is like facing like the road or the center of town or whichever way that the people come up to and approach it, jewel crafting store, like
Hmm.
where he does appraises and things like that. And so it's like this little front counter area,
Okay,
which I think will look very nice.
I dig that. Yeah, so the front part of the house is a little shop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, as you play these characters, you might want to make adjustments, or you can add things into their houses now. Like we're not only going to give you a character, you get a whole family and a house.
Yeah, I mean it adds to the flavor.
Yeah,
You at least have an idea of what sort of style of abode they would have
yeah.
and what kind of things they would travel with.
Oh yeah. And that, I think that's important too when you're playing a character or you're taking a character concept from something like this, is
Oh,
you get to add your own kind of
hey
flair.
man, I've got to interrupt you for a minute and go tend to my toddler.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so give me a second.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
I'll just rant for a moment here about yeah. So things like this really help with adding a solid background for your character and an idea for you to go ahead and explore and build upon. Things like we're not going to tell you how they dress or what kind of armor they particularly like to wear. That could be up to you and how you want to express them. But at least having this idea of where they live and how they're setting up in a town and interacting will help you build on that and build you something unique.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back, John.
Oh, yeah, I'm back. Thank you.
It's okay. It's difficult to do these things with a child, so
Yep, toddlers.
it's completely understandable. Now that we've gotten a little bit of a view from our previous characters, it's time to go ahead and start rolling up our new character. Now, listeners will know that we don't discriminate on predisposed evil races or anything like that. We try to make a reasonable explanation of why they're here. We did decide that we were probably going to drop the Magic the Gathering extras.
Right.
One thing though, that if we do that, we lose out on about 5 extra races, which isn't a big thing, but it seems like Minotaurs, Centaurs, and stuff like that, which I think we might want to keep in just because it's colorful and adds a unique spice to the
Yeah,
thing, but we can drop them out of the background, so we won't use the Magic the Gathering backgrounds as far as
I think that makes sense. I'm okay with using the races just because they're like generic fantasy races in most cases.
yeah, for most cases, except for the Simic, there's a Simic like mixed thing, but that's okay too. That's really interesting. Like you some kind of some kind of wizard experiment, and like you might be the only one of your kind,
Yeah, that's easy to
you know.
explain.
So and
Right.
that's very cool.
Sure.
Okay, so to do this, we now have 30 character options. I went and counted it now, people. I did some math. I counted. um, which means
Nice.
if we roll a d20 and a d10, which if you're listening and you're not really big into D&D, you're just listening for the character creation part, that's a dice with 10 sides and 20 sides, respectively. Um, we'll roll that. Now, if we both get the one issue, though, is if we roll a 2, So we each roll a 1. There's no way for us to get a 1. And if that's the case, then we'll roll a d6 and then like odds or evens will be 1 or a 2. And we'll solve it that way.
Okay.
Okay. Would you like to do the honors of doing a d20 or do you want to do a d10?
I'll do a d20.
Okay.
I like the d20.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay, you go first.
I rolled a 20.
You rolled a 20.
Natural 20.
I got a 5. So 1,
So
2, 3,
okay.
4, 5. Hmm. Hmm. Let me see here. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Speaking of the Simic hybrid,
Awesome.
if you don't know, the Simic are a Magic the Gathering race in Ravnica who like to use magic to transfer traits of animals onto humans, elves, and others.
Yeah, they're not so much a race as they are like a guild, really, like a culture or
Yeah,
a
yeah,
city state within this. It's a hard concept to explain. It's a governing body of wizards who splice shit
yeah,
onto other shit and give each other gorilla arms and
yeah,
crab legs.
yeah. Pretty much. They're mad scientists in the most legitimate form. They're not these weird mad engineers who like make doomsday rockets and things like
Hmm.
that. That's completely different. These are scientists who like, oh, we can make you better by giving you bird wings. So in that case, I'm gonna roll a d4. On a 1 or a 2, we were a human base. On a 3 or a 4, we were an elf base.
Okay. Okay, I like this. This is neat.
Okay, so we were a base elf to begin with.
Okay.
Okay. So now we have a lot of choices to make. One is we have an ability score that we can increase, which is a d6. So go ahead and roll a d6, and we'll randomly determine what other ability score we are increasing.
Okay. That's a 2.
A 2, that would be the Constitution. This is going to be a hardy person because not only do the Simic start with an increased score of 2, oh, sorry, we have to do one other ability score. So I don't think we can technically choose Constitution, so we'll go down to Dexterity. But that's fine. Uh, Next, we have languages. We speak Elvish. I we could choose Valkadin, but we're an elf base. We start with Elvish, I think. Now here comes an interesting part. At first level, we have to choose one of the following options as an animal enhancement: Manta Glide, Nimble Climber, or Underwater Adaptation.
Is that going to inform what animal this person is
Yeah.
spliced with? Because
Yes.
I took the liberty of finding an animal generator, but I'm cool with this option. I've never rolled any magic characters before, so I'm excited and also just totally out of my depth right now.
Yeah. So that is completely fine.
Okay.
So it looks like, and I've never rolled up this kind of character before either. This is completely new to me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the first level, we choose some basic, it looks like, movement options. At fifth level, we can either choose one of the options we didn't take, or we can get
Hmm,
more options of like grappling appendages,
that's neat.
a carapace, or acid spit.
I love it.
You continue to tinker with your own biology uh, on here. So roll a d6. 1, 2 will be Metaglide. 3, 4, Nimble Climber. And 5, 6 will be Underwater Adaptation.
Okay.
Okay.
We use the box for good luck. It's a 5.
5, Underwater Adaptation, which
Yes.
means we can breathe air and water, and you have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. This is going to be a very quick character in the water, so that'll be really interesting to have there.
That's cool. We already established that there's a river nearby, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
starting to fit with the setting already.
Great. And now we're going to go ahead and do our gender. Again, we're still using our basic gender role type, which is 1 agender, 2 male presents as feminine, 3 male or masculine, 4 feminine, 5 feminine presents as male, and 6 is fluid. They switch between both of them depending on what adventuring party they're with or where they're going. So let's see what we get this time. Okay, you ready, John?
I'm ready.
I don't I don't have a cool box. I just have my hands. So when I don't have multiple dice, it doesn't clack. It's really sad. 4 feminine presents as female.
Cool. All right, now I have to make an extra suggestion.
Yes.
Since we know this character is they have what was it called? Underwater adaptation,
Yes.
right? They're either part merfolk and part elf, or they're part like fish and part elf,
Mm-hmm.
or something that breathes underwater, right? So part fish.
Yes.
So
Most likely fish. Yeah.
I have pulled up a random fish generator,
Ooh. Okay.
and I can do up to 20. Well, because I have a 20-sided die here,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I can roll, and we will then determine what this person is spliced with.
Okay. 1 second.
Sure,
So you have a random generator for the animals, huh? Like for the fish and stuff.
I do.
Awesome.
Yes, I found it. It's kind of limited, but it has fish. And I'm looking at a list of 20 different types of fish, and I'm just going to say that the top left hand is
Okay.
1, and the bottom right hand is 20.
Okay.
So 11, which would
Ooh.
be a batfish.
A batfish.
I've got to Google it to know what it looks like.
I need to also. This is gonna be interesting. Oh my goodness, that is an ugly looking fish. Oh.
Amazing. It's like a fish with it's got almost like a guppy or a mudkip, but like flat like a manta ray. It's like a mudkip had a baby with a frog,
Yeah.
uh, or like a flounder. You know what I mean? Like a flounder, and yeah. No, this is great. This is perfect.
Yeah. Like so. For those of you who don't know, a batfish is part of the anglerfish style fish, and there is a specific one called the red-lipped batfish, which I think we're both looking at.
That's what I'm looking at too.
It looks as if a the best way to say it is a really bad drag queen look.
It has very large red lips, and then like
Yes.
it almost has a nose
Yeah.
that looks like a little squirrel's nose. Like you can see kind of the.
And it has like two eye stalks that come out, and it has like little feelers around the lips. Wow, we just went into like a zoology podcast now. I'm sorry, people. This is not what you meant to came here for, but this is a very interesting looking animal.
Or maybe it is what they came here for. And I think this is perfect because honestly, she has the genes from this. She doesn't have all the physical characteristics of it,
No,
right?
no, no.
She could have some.
Yeah,
So she might just have some froggy looking lips or froggy looking
yeah,
eyes, excuse me, and then like some kind of Joan River lips.
yeah.
And that's fine.
I think so too.
I think I, as somebody that does illustration, could come out with something that looks kind of cool,
Yeah.
like crossing that with an elf.
I think her skin tone is going to be like a grayish spotted whitish kind of
Hmm.
coloration with darker spots on her back and what is her dorsal, her back side, like so the back of her arms, the back of her legs, on her back and the back of her neck and shoulders,
Yeah,
like they're gonna be larger, darker spots.
yeah.
I think yeah, she probably has this fuller lip thing going on, probably some kind of like elongated eyes. Maybe she might be able to like express that, and then probably has gills on her neck somewhere along those lines that can like open and shut to help.
Oh yeah, and I'm thinking too. I think to help this would help anybody out that has played the game Mass Effect,
Oh,
but it looks very much like the face of a Solarian
yes.
from Mass Effect, and I could see you could splice that with an elf. So take a Solarian, take an elf, and so Solarian sort of eyes and
Yeah.
skin, elf facial structure and head shape with
Mhm.
some really red, um, Joan River esque smoochy lips.
Yeah, thick, full lips.
I think she might even be kind of sexy
Yeah.
to be like sexy fish lady. I'm down with this.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
super down with this. I'm very proud of what we've created here.
Yeah, I think if we ended it right here, this would be a perfect spot. But let, let us continue on with finding out her age. Um, so she's an elf. She's base elf,
Hmm.
which is quite interesting. So let us,
They're very long lived.
yes, super long lived. Not immortal, but quite can live well over 700 years. So
Yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't specify that she is half elf. Like most player characters are half elven, right?
yeah,
Not
yeah,
not not full
yeah,
blooded elf. So she is a full blooded elf with batfish
yeah.
genes.
It's like she was trying to be a connector to the sea elf race, and then just was like, nah, I'm just gonna make myself a fish, and went through like
All good, man.
so an adult names typically come about age of 100. So we're gonna start that as our base for her age, and they can live to be over 750 years old.
Okay.
So if she, so basically at 100, she is a 20-year-old equivalent of a human. So what we can do is, why don't we, you roll a d20 and I'll roll a d10, and we'll multiply those together and add that to her age and see.
Okay.
Okay. One, two, three.
16.
16, and I got a 9. Quick math. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use a calculator because 144 years. I just didn't feel like doing the math. So she's 244.
Okay.
So she's not, she, she'd be like what? That's like 25, like close to 30. She's not, as far as elves go, she is not particularly old, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so we said what that their lifespan was 700 something years, 750. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
240 is like it's like roughly a third of the lifespan. So it
Yeah.
puts her in probably her mid 20s or early 30s.
Yeah. The equivalent of that for an elf.
She's just a millennial. It's fine.
Yeah. She's seen a few things in her life. Uh, okay. Let us see. Let us see. Let's see. Oh, ooh. We need to do. We forgot about this. The abilities, because we always do abilities before the class, so we kind of talk about what class we hope for this character will be,
Uh huh.
and then we add in what class we actually get. And so, and to do this, we do the um, my preferred method, which is 44 drop the lowest. It's what I've done since third edition. Um, we might try standard array or point by, but it's not nearly as random. We could also just do 3d6, but I find that those tend to be underperforming,
Hmm.
and to the point where all the scores are under 10, and the average human is about a 10, like
Right.
stat wise. So we can't have we could. It's fine to have one or two stats under 10, but having all of them means that you're severely gimped in this game, and we don't want to present that for you. It could be a nice challenge,
Mm.
but not what we want. We want something that's flexible and user friendly. So, and as always, me and John both have our dice, making nice dice sounds.
Right. Which side of dice do I need again?
D6. We need four D6.
D6.
Yeah.
44 of them.
Yep.
Okay.
Not 40, 4.
4.
Yeah. we're not trying to pull my DM and blowing up a ship with like 100 d6 at a time. That was a rough experience.
Yeah.
Don't
I don't know why I couldn't remember I needed 4 dice. It is midnight here, though. It's like 6 a.m. for Daryl and midnight for me, which is sort of weird.
Yeah, it is a weird dichotomy. I'm sleepy at the beginning. I get more energetic by the end. John is energetic at the beginning and gets more sleepy at the end. Okay,
It's sleepier at the end,
okay,
yeah.
John. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna roll strength first,
All right, I'm ready.
and we got a 6, a 4, and a 3. 13.
Okay.
Would you please roll us dexterity?
Okay. All right. Dexterity. And I got a 6, 2 4s, and a 2.
Okay,
So that makes it a 14.
14. Not bad. Constitution. Oh, John, we got a good one on this one. We got 2 6s and a 3. A nice 15.
Nice.
Okay, let's go for the intelligence.
All right. All right. This is another decent one. So 6, 4, 3, and 1 puts her at 13. That's not.
Well,
It's not a bad starting
no,
intelligence.
that's like what, high school intelligence?
Sure. I mean, she's in her 30s, so
Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. A 6, a 3, a 2. So only an 11 on wisdom.
she has some room to grow.
And what about her charisma?
Okay, charisma. I really hope it's super high, because then she'd be like the sexiest batfish lady in the realm. All right, all right. I'm calling it right now. 3 6s. Let's see what we
3
got.
6s, you say. It's gonna be 4. 4
A
6s.
6, a
Drum roll.
6, a 3, and a 1.
Oh,
So that's not bad though. That's a 15.
yeah. So currently, her scores are 13 in strength, 15 in dexterity, 17 in constitution, starting at level 1, a 13 in intelligence, an 11 in wisdom, and a 15 in charisma. So honestly, pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Sexy batfish lady.
Sexy batfish lady. Now, John, did you enjoy our two? I'm not sure. Do we want to roll single d12 for the class, or do we want to do two and then see which roll kind of fits?
Oh, before we roll, we should speculate
Oh yeah.
on what
Oh,
class we think she is. So high charisma and high dexterity, right? And high constitution, right?
and high constitution. Yeah. Now the constitution is just a hardy thing. It's because she's been spliced with another
Uh-huh.
animal. So obviously she's like had to have the constitution to be magically spliced
Yeah.
with the DNA and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot like that of this other animal, and survive. So a high constitution makes sense
Right.
there. It's and she's an elf, so she probably already had like that elfish look before she was mutated. Interestingly enough, and we can leave this up for the viewers and the listeners to decide when they pick her out. We're not going to dictate when she was spliced. Was she spliced before as like an egg, like two elves who were wizards or something like that, like
Oh yeah, like in the womb or in utero.
were messing around
Mm-hmm.
and like made this? So like she has some like half siblings who are like half monkey and whatnot, or did she like choose this as she was growing up, or did she do this like when she became 100? She joined a guild and took on the experimentation. We're gonna let you decide.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities there, and I think we can let it be a mystery
Yeah, for now.
as for our purposes, and
Yeah,
we can let the viewers decide if they
yeah.
choose to pick her up.
Yeah, and then as we go on, when we do her background, we might hint at something,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to try to leave it open as much as possible
Yep.
for you to take creative leave with her.
Yeah.
Like, we want these to be nice characters and solid characters, but we don't want them fully fleshed out for you. So looking at it, I would say I'm honestly, I could see Bard.
Yeah, Bard is what comes to mind first because of the high charisma, but I'm also leaning towards Warlock. I think
Ooh, Warlock would be a nice one too. Yeah.
because Warlock has also has charisma as a sort of
Hmm.
important stat. Like I believe warlocks, all your spells are charisma based. That's
Yeah, yeah,
your uh, your spell stat. So
you're correct.
I think if I were making this character, I would choose warlock. Like if I was going to play this character,
Yeah.
I like warlock anyways. I've kind of discovered that that's my jam lately. So I'm gonna admit there's some bias there, but I
Yeah.
also think that the other stats she has, pretty decent dex, pretty decent strength, low intelligence. Relative to the other stats, her intelligence and her wisdom are low. This maybe is a warlock who takes on the I forgot what it's called, but the um,
One of the patrons.
shoot the patron that relies on the blade, right? So
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
like the combat focused one.
Yeah, a hexblade warlock. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, Hexblade.
she could be. She could be also.
Rather than
I'm also seeing like an otherworldly patron
oh yeah,
where like
yeah.
part of the issue, like part of her pact was to take on to this mutation.
Oh, see that's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah, so you could do that. So like it's not even like she's not her own race because like the simic hybrid isn't necessarily their own race. They have a base race, and that being spliced on, they don't reproduce.
Hmm.
Like you don't have like a simic hybrid breed with a human or like fall in love with an elf and have a child, and it comes out like a hybrid.
Hmm.
It would come out as genetically elf, maybe with some animal features because the DNA has been spliced into one of the parents, but it wouldn't be particularly viable. They don't reproduce that way. So thinking that in terms of story, a warlock who had to make a pact with something like an otherworldly being or something that would probably be potentially changed in that way, you know?
Hmm. As a result of the pact, um,
Yeah, yeah,
that is really neat. I super like that idea. So if we get Warlock, that could be where we take it,
yeah,
or just take that idea as a freebie from Daryl's
yeah. From my crazy mind right here.
genius mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a genius, but definitely off the wall. It is definitely off the wall.
Creative,
Yeah, creative.
creative.
I have to tell stories off the fly to kindergartners, so I have to be able to pop things out like that. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I'd also be okay with something with like a barbarian.
Hmm.
Not necessarily for the raging and the extra melee damage, but like high constitution, high dexterity is kind of the hallmark for barbarians, and
Yeah.
you could easily be like a dex based barbarian where you don't get the modifier for your extra damage on your attack rolls, but maybe your like the aspects are something different. So like you're more of a defensive
Hmm.
barbarian or something like that. I definitely don't see you ranger.
Yeah, and then no, not ranger, but I was gonna say barbarian. You could throw in some intimidation stuff
Yeah.
to leverage that high charisma stat.
Hmm.
Um, any class really she could
Yeah.
do that with, but
Yeah. I mean, charisma is one of those amazing stats that even if it's not your main stat, it's going to be useful no matter what. Same thing with the
right.
constitution,
Hmm.
and we just want to kind of leverage that. So let's go ahead. I think I enjoy the we both roll and then we kind of pick out of those two. Mostly because it doesn't we don't have to always I always find like the D12 narrows us down to monk and paladin and fighter a lot.
Yeah.
So this gives us double the chance to not roll right in the middle of average.
So
Okay.
remind me, I'm rolling a d12 again.
Yep, D12.
Okay. I will forget every episode.
That is fine. And then
We probably just in our show notes need to have which dice to roll, and then maybe I
yeah.
won't ask.
Well, I mean,
Maybe. No guarantee.
I do have in the show notes how many classes there are.
Right.
You could probably guess what you need to roll from that, but you never know.
Like I said, no guarantee. Okay.
For the listeners, John is the bumbling paladin from my.
Oh gosh, we never talked about that. Why did you have to bring that up?
We won't spoil it now.
We can tell that story later.
But just so you know, I have DM'd for him before,
Mm,
and he has amazing roles.
they're wonderful.
Okay, one, two, three,
2.
two.
Mm-hmm.
You got a two.
Yep.
You know what I got?
What'd you get?
Two.
Wait, so what happens if we both roll the same thing?
It means she was destined to be a bard.
She's destined to be a bard. Okay. That, you can't say no to that.
The dice have spoken.
I wanted her to be a warlock. Maybe I'll pick this character up one day and I'll respec her into warlock.
Hmm. Like I mean,
Um, uh,
if if you like the idea of warlocks, I mean, multi-class is a thing.
yeah, this was gonna say a multi-class her into warlock someday, But now she's a bard.
So now, because she's a bard, we have a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
And by a lot of options, I mean three different musical instruments, which I was not prepared to count up, and three different skills out of the entire skill
Oh, okay.
tree. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're gonna alternate roles. You roll a d10, I roll a d10, and then you'll roll for the musical instruments, and then we'll do the same thing for the skills. We have one,
Let me
two,
find my D10 here. Thank you for helping me out on dice I need to roll. All right, I'm ready. Are we going?
okay, yes. So, and we'll get a d20 for later. So go ahead. D10.
That's an 8.
And pan flute. And that is going to be the lyre. And then roll me another d10.
That's another 8. Double pan flute.
Well, in that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A viol.
Okay, I don't even know what that is.
Google time.
It's like a violin, I guess,
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So a viol is like a. Is it a larger?
right? A musical instrument of the Renaissance and Baroque periods.
Yeah, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, it's like the stepchild of a large cello and a violin. It's not quite as big as a full bass or cello, but it's too big for you to hold up, and you play it while standing
Yeah,
up.
I'm seeing pictures of people sitting with it in their lap, but it's kind of guitar sized, so you could strap this to your
Yeah,
back. No, it's a veal. It's not
yeah.
across your legs.
No, no. You sit it and you stand it straight up, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you stand it. They kind of like have their knees wrapped around it.
yeah.
Um,
It's also known as a viola da gamba. So that's interesting. So she can play all of these instruments. Not necessarily that she has them, but she can play them.
mhm.
Now, moving on to her skills. The first one, she's proficient in animal handling.
Okay,
John, please roll me a d20.
D20. Let's pick a different colored one than I've already rolled the red one and the black one today.
Gotta give them all the chance so they all roll nicely. Yeah.
They all need a chance. That's a 19.
Okay. Stealth.
Okay.
And 17. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So survival. So she is proficient in pan flute, the lyre, the viol da gamba, animal handling, stealth, and survival.
Interesting. So
Hmm.
this is a bard who could be good at wetworks. You know,
Potentially.
stealth, infiltration, and
Yeah.
survival. And I think animal handling makes sense, just being
Part animal.
a part animal. She has fish friends.
Yeah. I mean, she can't really speak to fish, but she definitely
No, but
she knows how to move through aquatic animals and make sure like alligators don't eat her. You know, or dinosaurs or whatever.
Yeah, you if you were picking this character up, you could add some pets. If you wanted to. We're not going to do that unless Daryl wants to. But
No, 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 no. One thing though is this is our first spell casting. I mean, technically, yes, Sophia was a spellcaster, and I don't remember if we did her.
we did cantrips for her because
Yeah, her cantrips because she's a druid and she can change.
because druids have
Yeah,
prepared spells and they can change it every
but
day. Yeah.
as a bard, if I remember correctly, you do not have prepared spells.
Right. They're kind of I think you can change them
Yeah.
every time you level up if
Hmm.
you want to, but otherwise they are fixed spells.
Similar to the sorcerer or the warlock.
Right.
So that means we actually have to roll up a d12, both of us, for her two starting cantrips,
Okay.
and then we'll have to figure out her first level spells. Ready?
Yep.
And roll. I have an 11.
4
4.
on 11. 4 and 11.
Okay, so true strike, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and light. So true strike means that her magic grants brief insight to a target's defense. The next attack against him has advantage, considering if it doesn't the spell. And light is simply that she makes light on an object so that she can see. Which, if we go with this whole wetwork bard idea, then she could use that to like always the ability to have a flashlight while swimming under the water and things like that, and like navigate that way. So I do not think. Oh, she does have dark vision, so
That's really cool.
she doesn't necessarily need the light, but she could totally use that. And now we get to do the first level spells.
Okay. I have no idea how many spells Bard has access to at level 1.
23.
Wow. Okay.
So, and she has access to 4 of them. So we're going to roll a d4 and a d20. And if you roll a 24, it's going to be number 1.
Okay.
So you roll twice, and then I'll roll twice.
All right. So
Sound good?
I'll go first, I guess.
Yes.
All right. The first roll is a 12 and a 4.
So 16. Illusionary script.
Sweet.
I got a 14 and a 4. So we were at 14, so I'll go up by 4. 1, 2. Speak with animals. Well, John, here's your.
Nice.
Okay.
She can speak to the fishes.
Yep, your turn.
All right.
We got 2 more spells to roll up.
A 10 and a 1.
Featherfall.
That works.
So you have.
That goes with the stealthy infiltrator bard. She's a sneaky bard. Say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I miscounted when I was counting up, and not speak with animals. She has silent image.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm disappointed. But
Well, hold on. I could roll a 20, and she could have speak with animals.
okay.
I apologize. I did not. I did not. I rolled an 11 again, so I have to re-roll that because we already have Featherfall.
Okay.
I definitely did not. That was a 1 and a 3.
Okay.
So she has comprehend language instead.
Well, we can forgive her for that.
Yeah.
The first new spell she'll pick up when she levels will be speak with animals. So
Yeah, because we can't have our fish lady not be able to speak with animals. That's not okay.
that's okay. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, she is who she is, and we love her for that. But okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over and do the backgrounds, and that, my friend, is 17. So I think this is a difficult one. I think we can just roll a d20, and anything above 17 will just have to be rolled again.
Okay.
Okay. I will go ahead and let you do the honors for this.
Okay. That's a 15.
A 15. Okay. Okay. So the background we have for her is a sailor.
Dude, I love this. This is
She
perfect.
gets skill proficiencies in athletics and perception. She's proficient in navigator's tools and vehicles of water. And, she can get free passage on sailing ships and things like that. So maybe
Daryl, she's a pirate.
she is. She's a pirate. Like,
I mean, she's got charisma. She can fight.
mm-hmm.
She can play random instruments,
Yeah,
and she's good at being sneaky
that is
when
true.
she's gotta. She's a pirate. This is a pirate bard. I know there's probably a class that is specific to like, oh, that's a pirate,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I know the swashbuckler. But
yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. Speaking of this and talking about her being a potential, swashbuckling bard of the seas, as speaking as bards are, there's a couple different colleges, and I'm thinking that College of Swords will probably be what she goes into,
hmm
or College of Lore. Like she might be a sailor and like a pirate, but pirate of like lore and knowledge. But I don't feel like that's quite her thing. I feel like she's more of the like stealthy, I'm gonna rob you from the seaside type, you know?
yeah, yeah, this character has a lot of potential, and could I mean she could. I mean, we can figure out alignment when we get there, right?
Yeah, I mean we can do alignment now if you want to.
Yeah, why not? Let's see. I mean, because I think that determines is she a an actual pirate, like she will steal things
Uh-huh.
from people, or is she more just you know just the lifestyle,
Yeah, yeah,
living on the sea, being free, democracy, all those things.
yeah, yeah. Pirating knowledge. You wouldn't pirate a boat, bitch. I might. Okay, so there's technically 9 D&D alignments, and you can take when you adopt this character, you can shift the alignment however you want to fit the story going about. I think what we can do is 1 being lawful good, 9 being chaotic evil, left to right. Do you want to do the honor of rolling her alignment? Because this is the first time we've rolled alignment. We normally stray away from this, mostly because we had 2 evil natured characters before, and we want to leave it open
hmm
and kind of put them in the neutral zone and let you vary that way. I mean, neutral is very piratey too. You just do what you feel like and follow a code of honor. But if you would like to roll an alignment, roll me an alignment check, please.
Let's roll an alignment, and if it doesn't go well, that's
Well, that's what did I say?
what the dice say. All right, so 7.
Seven. Uh oh. Uh oh. Lawful evil.
Interesting.
Which
Okay.
makes sense. Lawful evil are people who they kind of fudge and they manipulate the laws to fit them and to benefit their greed or what they want. They manipulate them so that they are always kind of in the right. These are the people who are like technically right,
Yeah.
like as far as the rules go, but that's not in the spirit of like the rules of the law. But technically, they're clear, right? Like
Yeah, and I
so.
mean they don't have to be evil as in like murderer. They could just be evil as in they're a jerk sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like Karen.
yeah.
Karen this could be a pirate half elf half fish Karen.
No, no, that's we ain't making a Karen. No. But we will give her the alignment of lawful evil. I would say that as a pirate, she has like a code, like she doesn't loot from certain groups of
Hmm.
people or whatnot like that.
She doesn't break the pirate code, the law of the sea.
Yeah, yeah. Or and like and other traditions of her own like set boundaries and things like that. Like
Right.
you can explore that as we go as she goes on and as we roll up more characteristics for her. But yeah, this is not like, oh, I'm going to, you know, raise the village and like steal everything. It's I'm gonna go in and claim that I have authority over you and use your laws against you and then take your stuff from it.
Hmm.
And if you don't like it, I can say, oh well, I have a she's what were they called? She's a privateer.
Yeah. Yeah.
She probably was on a ship as a privateer that worked from one of the like Baldur's Gate or something off the Sword Coast, and was licensed to rob certain trade ships and took full advantage of that.
Right.
Basically saying, I have a writ that says I can do this. You can't stop me. And, you know, skimmed off the top.
And now she shows up in our town, and she has a
Mhm,
writ that says that she can build her dock at the on the riverbanks, whether or
mhm.
not Sophia and Red are happy that she's there. Or it could be a dock. It doesn't have to be a dock. It could be a house. It could be a houseboat.
No, no. I think she comes into the village, into the town, having done a lot of pirating at sea and has like inadvertently made some enemies
Yeah.
and is like going a little bit farther inward, like still next to like a river that she can like get on a boat and like get back to the sea realm. But she goes to this town to kind of like start anew and kind of I feel like she's gonna be a driving force in the laws, but at the same time she would try to manipulate the laws so that she gets the better end of the deal, like
Yeah.
to use it.
This is the type of person that comes in and founds the HOA,
Yeah.
right?
She is the homeowners association.
She comes in and she says, "No, Sophia, you can't have a thatched roof. You have to have shingles."
She's like, we need to drive up property value. Like, no, you can't grow marijuana. That's oh, but my marijuana plant. No, no, this is aesthetic. This is a foreign type. It's okay to have this one. You can't have yours.
Right, right.
Okay, so let's roll up her personality traits. Before we get too much into whether she's a Karen
All
or
right.
she's a homeowner association kind of person. Let's find out what her personality is. Roll me a
Sure.
d8.
All right. I will roll a d8 once I stop laughing. I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 5. So she is. I enjoy sailing into new ports and making new friends over a flagon of ale. And to me, a tavern brawl is a nice way to get to know a new city.
Wow, those things go together so well.
They really do.
That's perfect.
So like she just kind of rolls up into the town and is like, "How y'all doing?" And like gets into a scuffle with Old Man Red, and it's like, "I like it here. I'm gonna set up camp."
Perfect. And you can't stop me
Yeah,
because I have a deed.
yeah, pretty much. But it's like a fake deed. She like sleight of hand like wrote it. Neither goblin nor the hobgoblin can read and know whether or not it's true or not, so they just go with it. Okay,
Hmm.
ideals. I'm gonna roll the ideals, and you can roll the bond. How about that?
Is it d8 again?
D6 actually, I think. So ideals. Fairness. We all do the work, so we all share in the rewards. Yeah, that's lawful. But she's gonna like make it better. Okay, what kind of bond do you want?
All right. 2.
The ship is most important. Crewmates and captains come and go. So we have a elf fish who enjoys going into new areas and exploring, making new friends over a flagon of ale, but understands that crewmates and captains and people that you meet in these ports come and go. What is most important is your stable ship, your home,
Hmm.
your dock. That is the most important thing. And at the same time, they think that everybody who does work deserves a reward, not necessarily whether or not like she might view her work as more, so she gets more reward or whatever like that. But she believes that everybody who pitches in deserves a reward, and the best
Yeah.
way to get to know a city is to go to a tavern and like brawl and like beat up locals and things like that. Like,
Meet the locals fist first.
John, please roll me another d6 and let's find out her flaw.
Okay. I'm excited for this one. It's a 4.
Once I start drinking, it's hard for me to stop.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Amazing.
She drinks like a fish. Oh wait.
Wait. Oh, like a batfish.
She drinks like a batfish. I This is a very interesting character that is lawful evil, is some kind of weird fish hybrid elf that likes to drink a lot and is kind of rough around the edges,
Yeah.
like enjoys meeting new people, beating them up, and then like selling off to new places. Um
I think probably she rolls in, and the urge to beat people up doesn't start until she's in that she's a few drinks in, and then
yeah.
she gets the itch and has
Hmm.
she inevitably picks a fight, but also always has a like an out.
Yeah.
So like she's never the one that's responsible for the property damage.
Yeah.
She picks a fight, but she gets them to throw the first punch, right? Because
Pretty much.
she is
She's a bard. That's what they do.
she's a bard. Yeah.
Like she just ad libs and like harasses somebody and immediately like they just can't take it. Like she has the best fish puns of them all, and it just irritates the people to hear these wonderful fish puns, fish puns, and they just start throwing punches. They have to like throw hands,
hmm
and then she just kind of like ducks out.
You could say they start floundering.
They start flapping their fins around.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. I think this is a great character. I also think going into like the idea of, like the ship or whatnot, I have a feeling that she brought her ship up the river. And it wasn't like a big ship, not a seafaring ship, more of a river kind of boat style ship, but just like big enough that she like just drug it onto the land and like set up like her house next to the river with her boat. Like it is her house. It's just stuck on the side of the bank.
Yeah. The house is a boat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or I mean she can also breathe underwater, so she could have some rooms and things underwater
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
She's a mysterious person, right?
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
she's like when she came into town, she like was going up the river against the wind, and like suddenly like she was gonna go back and she like it was the fog or something. She like runs the boat up onto the land because the river was low or something like that, and it's stuck there now, right? And she's like, oh well,
hmm
I'm close enough to this like two little huts over here within like a decent walking distance. I'll just hang out here then, and she's kind of setting up her own little thing going on here now. Now what we need to do is we need to make a name for her. And I know, John, you like to have a randomizer for your elves.
Yeah, I think that's. Let's see if I can.
There are some potential things. A lot of female adult names are like Alathina or Atanua or Brielle or Duresia or Ina. I don't
hmm
do elves. Elves are pretentious. Thalassite? Thalassa. Yeah, Thalassa. Yeah. Um, with the D&D and Magic the Gathering. Um, Thassa.
Essa, yeah. I
Yep.
went another route, and I just brought up a pirate name generator,
Okay.
and they are all terrible.
Really?
Um, yeah, such gems as Cheryl Braveheart Holt and Catherine Shrew Johnson. So it's
Wow.
basically just like first name, nickname, last name.
Animal.
Yeah. Well, it could be like yellow teeth or twitching. That's terrible. Let's
Yeah.
not do that.
No.
Let's.
Sunata. Eh, let us. I think I'm just gonna roll.
Oh, I see a neat one.
Okay. Okay.
Syllia,
Syllia. Okay.
spelled Syllia.
SY. Okay. Yeah, Syllia would be nice. I like that.
That to me, just the sound of it sounds very aquatic.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
Not, I mean, the word cilia like is a cell organ, but
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah.
We they don't. We don't need to put real things in there. I have a Triton in another campaign that's named after a breast implant, so it's
Mm,
whatever.
yeah.
Um, um, thank Tan Chan for that. Like she gave me that idea. But yeah, so Celia, the Simic hybrid elf, batfish, pirate, bard. I like it. This is a great,
I,
a really great character. I think.
I love it too. You know, I'm because she's like part. You know, we went with the pirate thing without even realizing that there's
Mm.
that whole like Pirates of the Caribbean Davy Jones curse where they become part fish. You know what I mean, or part sea creature.
Yeah.
That I think works with the whole
Uh huh.
hexblade thing that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some process through which she
Hmm.
on the sea gained her fishness.
Yeah. I think that could be a thing too. You can explore that in a like just because warlocks have their patron doesn't necessarily mean that a character can't have a background where they made a pact with like
Yeah,
a sea god or a kraken or some kind of
right.
big evil magical thing of the sea of the ocean and gain this. So if you want to add a little bit more into her background or you have an idea of that would fit your story better,
Hmm.
feel free to do that.
Yeah.
Like this again, inspiration. We just want to inspire you to play and to have these cool ideas.
Of the three characters we've created so far, I feel like this one has the most room for that kind of creative background storytelling.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
directions you could go with the
Hmm.
combination of stuff that we've come up with here.
Yeah. I feel like the other two were really cool for character arcs and for developing your own
Hmm.
story for them going forward. And I think this one has a really good open space for the background and to continue her on.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so I think that's really good. And that being the case, I think we have completed our third character. I'm I'm really happy with it. I think our town is growing nicely. We have our good characters, our neutral characters, and our lawful evil characters, and we're gonna grow as a town. I can't wait to see what you, the listeners, do with these characters. I can't wait to hear about the random interactions. And if you have any ideas on things that the characters might want to have in their homes, or if you want to draw like fan art of what you think maybe they look
Hmm.
like, feel free to do that. We would love to host that.
I'd love to see some fan art, especially some fan art of Cilia. Let's see
Yeah.
what the audience depiction of Cilia, the half elf, half batfish.
Yes.
Just Google batfish; it is amazing.
Google red, like the red-lipped batfish.
Red lip batfish specifically. Yeah.
Yes, because that's the one that we are building from. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness. Well, thank you for listening to our podcast. Please, if you don't mind, leave a like, subscribe, and share the podcast with your friends through social media and YouTube. It really helps out a lot and it helps support us. We are building up a Patreon, so you can find the link in the description as soon as it's up. You can support us there. You can find both me and John on social media and other outlets. For myself, Daryl, you can find me at Raging Cajun Studio through Facebook and Twitch. And then on Twitter, I'm known as D Mo underscore Coon. And John,
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch as Jonicus. The O is a zero.
Hmm. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you on the next one.